Lucy Montgomery sat alone in the university observatory. It was almost midnight. All the other students had gone home hours ago. But Lucy loved the quiet of the night sky. The stars always made her feel less alone. She had been an orphan for as long as she could remember. The stars were her first friends. Now, as a 22-year-old astronomy student, she spent most nights here looking up at the sky through the big telescope. Just one more hour, she told herself, writing down some notes about the star cluster she was studying. The professor would be happy with her work. Suddenly, a bright flash of light filled the room. Lucy jumped up from her chair and ran to the telescope. Something was burning across the night sky. At first, she thought it was a meteor. But this was different. It moved in a strange way, like it was trying to control where it was going. "That's not a meteor," Lucy whispered. She watched as the object broke into pieces. One large piece seemed to be heading straight for the forest near the campus. Lucy's heart raced. She should call someone. The police. The university security. NASA, maybe. But something inside her said this was special. This was meant for her to find. She grabbed her backpack. It was always packed with emergency supplies, a flashlight, first aid kit, water, some energy bars, and a small knife. Living alone had taught her to be ready for anything. She put on her jacket and ran out of the observatory. The forest was dark and quiet. Lucy turned on her flashlight and followed the direction where she thought the object had fallen. The smell of burnt wood and something strange, like metal but sweeter, filled the air. After walking for 20 minutes, she saw it. Trees had been knocked down, making a path that led to a small clearing. In the middle sat something that made Lucy's breath stop. It was not from Earth, that was clear right away. About the size of a small car, the object gleamed with a metal Lucy had never seen before. It changed colors as she moved her flashlight across it, blue to purple to something that didn't even have a name. There were no seams or screws or rivets. It looked like it had been grown, not built. "Hello?" Lucy called out, feeling silly. Nobody would answer. It was just a piece of space junk. But as she got closer, a section of the smooth surface slid open. Colorful smoke poured out, smelling like cinnamon and electricity. Lucy should have run. Any normal person would have run. But Lucy wasn't normal. She had always felt different, out of place on Earth. So instead of running, she stepped closer and looked inside. A woman lay there. At least she looked mostly like a woman. Her skin was a silvery blue color that seemed to glow from within. Strange marks covered her arms and face, pulsing with light. Her hair was white as snow but moved like it was underwater. She wore what looked like armor, but it was made of the same shifting color material as the ship. Lucy gasped, and the woman's eyes opened. Lucy took a step back. Each eye had 3 pupils that moved and changed size as they focused on her. The woman was beautiful, but in a way that made it clear she was not human. "Please," the woman said in perfect English, though her voice had a strange echo to it, like several people were speaking at once. "Help me." Lucy didn't think twice. She reached into the ship and touched the woman's arm. It was warm and felt like normal skin, but with a slight vibration, as if electricity ran just beneath the surface. "Can you move?" Lucy asked. "Are you hurt?" The woman tried to sit up but fell back with a sound of pain. "I'm injured. The crash damaged my stabilizing field." She pointed to her side where a dark blue liquid was seeping through her armor. In the distance, Lucy heard helicopters. Someone else had seen the crash. Government? Military? Whoever it was, Lucy had a feeling they wouldn't be gentle with this visitor. "We need to get you out of here," Lucy said, surprising herself with how calm she felt. "Can you walk if I help you?" The woman nodded. "Yes, but we must hurry. They will be searching." "Who will?" Lucy asked as she helped the woman climb out of the ship. "Both my people and those who hunt me." The woman winced as she put weight on her leg. "I am Zara Vesh, Crown Princess of the Lycerian Empire, and I have just made you a target by meeting you." Lucy should have been scared. She should have left this alien princess in her ship for the authorities to find. But something about Zara felt familiar, like meeting someone she had known in a dream. "I'm Lucy Montgomery," she said, putting her arm around Zara's waist to support her, "and I know a place we can hide." As they limped away from the crash site, Lucy heard the helicopters getting closer. Bright lights swept through the trees behind them. Zara leaned heavily on Lucy, her strange eyes looking up at the human with wonder. "Why are you helping me?" Zara asked. "Your kind usually fears what they do not understand." Lucy thought about her life, about being an orphan, about never fitting in, about looking at the stars every night and feeling like she was looking for home. Maybe I understand more than you think, Lucy said. Come on. My apartment isn't far from the edge of the forest. We need to get that wound cleaned up. As they walked away from the crash, Lucy didn't notice that where Zara's hand touched her arm, her own skin had begun to glow with faint markings that matched the aliens. Neither did she notice the small drone that followed them, recording everything. Behind them, 3 black helicopters landed near the crash site. Men in dark suits poured out, carrying strange devices that beeped faster as they pointed them in the direction Lucy and Zara had gone. The hunt had begun. Lucy's apartment was small but neat. She had few belongings. As a student with little money, she spent most of her cash on books and her telescope. The walls were covered with star maps and pictures of galaxies. It was on the 3rd floor of an old building near the edge of campus, far enough from the main dorms that few students lived nearby. This is safe for now, Lucy said, as she helped Zara through the door. The alien princess looked around the small space with curious eyes. Your dwelling is simple, Zara said. Her voice still had that strange echo quality that made Lucy's ears tingle. It's all I need, Lucy replied. She helped Zara to the couch. Let me look at your wound. The blue liquid had spread across Zara's side. Up close, Lucy could see that the alien's armor wasn't solid. It seemed to flow and move almost like it was alive. How do I, help you get this off? Lucy asked, pointing to the armor. Zara touched a spot near her neck. The armor rippled and then pulled back, revealing more of her silvery blue skin and the wound beneath. Lucy gasped. The cut was deep and the blue liquid, which must be Zara's blood, was flowing freely. I need to clean this, Lucy said. She ran to her bathroom and grabbed her first aid kit. When she returned, Zara was looking at a photo on the wall. It showed a young Lucy with an older couple. Your parental units? Zara asked. Lucy shook her head. Foster parents. I never knew my real parents. I was left at a hospital when I was a baby. She didn't know why she was telling this to an alien she had just met, but something about Zara made Lucy feel like she could trust her. Lucy cleaned the wound with antiseptic wipes. Zara flinched but didn't complain. This might not work on your biology, Lucy said. I don't know if human medicine will help you. My people are not so different from yours, Zara said. We can breathe your air, drink your water. Our blood carries oxygen just like yours. The main difference is that we evolved on a world with more radiation. Our bodies adapted to use it. Lucy nodded, trying to act like talking to an alien was a normal Thursday night for her. Is that why your skin glows? Yes. We absorb energy and release it through our skin markings. Zara pointed to the patterns on her arms. They also show our family lines and social status. As Lucy bandaged the wound, Zara explained more. Her people, the Lycerians, had been watching Earth for centuries. They had bases hidden on the moon and deep in Earth's oceans. They found humans interesting because, as Zara put it, your kind adapts so quickly. In just a few thousand years, you went from stone tools to space exploration. Many species take millions of years to do what you did in a blink. If you've been watching us, why haven't you made contact? Lucy asked. Zara's face grew serious. There are rules. Earth is protected as a developing world. Direct contact is forbidden until your civilization reaches certain milestones. Then why are you here? Why did you crash near me? Zara was quiet for a moment. Her 3 pupiled eyes looked down. I am running away. From what? From a marriage. From a war. From a destiny I did not choose. Zara looked back up at Lucy. I am the crown princess of the Lycerian Empire. My mother, the Empress, arranged for me to marry the son of our enemy, the Dravek Dominion. It would bring peace between our peoples after centuries of war. But you didn't want to marry him? Lucy asked. It is not about what I want. It is about what the marriage would give the Dravek. Zara's markings pulsed with a red light, showing her anger. The Lycerian royal bloodline carries genetic markers that allow us to control a powerful energy source. If the Dravek gain access to this through a child of royal blood, they could use it as a weapon, Lucy finished. Zara nodded. My escape ship was damaged when I fled the Peace Summit. The Dravek shot me down. They will be searching for me. And so will the Lycerian Royal Guard. Those helicopters in the forest, Lucy said. Were they your people or the Dravek? I do not know. Both sides have agents on Earth disguised as humans. They can change their appearance to look like your kind. Lucy sat back, trying to process everything. An alien princess. 2 alien civilizations with hidden bases on Earth. A space war that might now involve her planet. It was too much. Why me? Lucy asked. Why did you crash near the observatory where I was working? Zara's eyes softened. It was not random, Lucy Montgomery. I chose to crash near you, but why? You didn't even know me. I knew of you. Zara reached out and touched Lucy's arm. Where her fingers made contact, Lucy's skin began to glow with marks similar to Zara's. You are not fully human. Lucy pulled her arm back, staring at the glowing patterns that slowly faded. What are you talking about? Of course I'm human. You are partly human, but you also carry Lycerian DNA. Zara said this gently, watching Lucy's face. Many centuries ago, some of my people stayed on Earth. They fell in love with humans. Had children. Those children had children. The Lycerian traits became weaker with each generation, but they never fully disappeared. Lucy thought about her life, about being an orphan, about always feeling different, about her strange connection to the stars. Are you saying I'm part alien? Lucy's voice was a whisper. You are part Lycerian, a distant descendant of my people. That is why I came to you. The Royal Guard would not think to look for me with one of the Earthborn descendants, and the Dravek do not know about your existence. Before Lucy could ask more questions, the lights in her apartment flickered. Then they went out completely. In the sudden darkness, Zara's markings glowed brighter. They have found us, Zara whispered. Lucy's heart raced as the apartment plunged into darkness. The only light came from Zara's glowing skin markings, which pulsed with a nervous blue color. Who found us? Lucy whispered. Your people or the Dravek? I do not know, Zara said. She stood up carefully, wincing from her wound. But we cannot stay to find out. Lucy moved to the window and peeked through the blinds. On the street below, 3 black SUVs had parked. Men in dark suits were getting out. They looked human, but after what Zara had told her, Lucy knew appearances could be deceiving. There are people outside, Lucy said. They look like government agents or something. They are scanning for me, Zara explained. My body gives off energy that their devices can detect, Lucy thought quickly. Is there any way to hide your energy? Zara touched the bandage on her side. My royal garments could shield me, but they were damaged in the crash. Without them, I cannot hide my presence. Lucy looked around her small apartment. There had to be something they could use. Her eyes fell on her physics textbooks. What if we block the signal? Lucy asked. In physics, we learn about Faraday cages. They block electromagnetic fields. Zara's eyes widened. That might work. The scanners detect my body's electromagnetic signature. My bathroom, Lucy said suddenly. The walls have metal pipes running through them, and the shower is lined with metal. It might work as a makeshift Faraday cage. They heard footsteps on the stairs outside. The men were coming up to her floor. Zara nodded, and Lucy helped her to the bathroom. The princess sat in the empty bathtub while Lucy closed the door. Stay quiet, Lucy whispered. She returned to the living room just as a knock sounded on her door. Lucy took a deep breath and opened it. 2 men stood there. They looked human in every way, but there was something off about them. Their movements were too smooth, too perfect. Can I help you? Lucy asked, trying to sound normal. Federal agents, the first man said. His voice was flat with no accent. He held up a badge that looked real enough. We're investigating a meteorite that fell in the forest nearby. Did you see anything unusual tonight? Lucy shook her head. No, sorry. I was studying all night. She gestured to the books on her table. Astronomy major. Big test tomorrow. The second man was holding a small device that was making a soft beeping sound. He moved it around, pointing it into Lucy's apartment. Mind if we come in and look around? The first man asked. It wasn't really a question. Do you have a warrant? Lucy asked, remembering crime shows she had watched. The men looked at each other. Then the first one smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. We don't need one. National security matter. They pushed past Lucy into the apartment. The second man kept moving his device around. The beeping got faster as he pointed it toward the bathroom. What's in there? He asked, moving toward the bathroom door. Lucy's mind raced. My roommate. She's sick. Food poisoning. Really gross. You don't want to go in there. The man ignored her and reached for the door handle. Lucy had to do something. She grabbed her mug of cold coffee from the table and pretended to trip, spilling it all over the man's suit. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, she exclaimed. The man looked down at his wet clothes. For a second, Lucy thought she saw his skin ripple, like something was moving underneath it. Then his face turned angry. That was clumsy, he said coldly. The first man put his hand on his partner's shoulder. We should go. Change clothes. He looked at Lucy. We'll be back. Don't leave town. They left, closing the door behind them. Lucy waited until she heard their footsteps fade away before she ran to the bathroom. They're gone for now, she told Zara. But they'll be back. We need to leave. Zara stepped out of the bathtub. You lied to protect me, why? Lucy didn't have a good answer. Because it felt right. Because I believe you, because... She looked at her arm where the marks had glowed earlier. Because maybe you're right about me being part Lycerian. They packed quickly. Lucy grabbed some clothes, her first aid kit, all the cash she had, and her laptop. Zara's wound was looking better already. The princess explained that her people healed faster than humans. Where can we go? Lucy asked as they prepared to leave. Those men will be watching my apartment now. Zara thought for a moment. Is there somewhere remote? Somewhere with few people. Lucy nodded. My foster parents had a lake house. It's about 3 hours from here. They left it to me when they died, but I rarely go there. No one would think to look for us there. Can we reach it without being seen? Lucy went to her closet and pulled out an old backpack. From inside, she took out a set of keys. My foster dad's old truck is in storage near campus. It's not registered in my name. We can use it to drive to the lake house. They left through the back exit of the apartment building. The night was quiet, but Lucy felt like eyes were watching them from everywhere. They stayed in the shadows, avoiding streetlights. The storage facility was small and poorly lit. Lucy's foster father had been a practical man who believed in having backup plans. The old truck was covered with a tarp. When Lucy pulled it off, Zara looked at the vehicle with doubt. This primitive transport will get us to safety? Lucy smiled. Don't judge it by how it looks. This truck has never failed to start, even in the coldest winter. As if to prove her point, the engine rumbled to life on the first try. They drove out of the city, taking back roads whenever possible. Zara looked out the window with wonder as they passed through small towns and then into the countryside. Your world is so varied, she said. On my homeworld, most live in great cities. Few venture into the wild places. Earth still has plenty of wild places, Lucy said. The lake house is in one of them. As they drove, Zara told Lucy more about the Lycerian Empire. It spanned 12 star systems and included over 30 inhabited worlds. They had been traveling through space for thousands of years. The Dravic Dominion was newer but growing fast. They took worlds by force rather than peaceful exploration. The marriage was supposed to end the conflict, Zara explained. But I discovered the Dravic prince had plans to use me to access the royal genetic code. With it, he could control the energy source that powers our civilization. What kind of energy? Lucy asked. We call it the flux. It exists between dimensions. It can create or destroy matter, heal or harm. If used as a weapon, it could destroy entire planets. Lucy gripped the steering wheel tighter. And they want to use it as a weapon? Yes. My escape has likely pushed our peoples closer to war. Zara looked out at the dark road ahead. I did not wish to involve Earth in our conflict, but I had nowhere else to go. After 3 hours of driving, they turned onto a narrow dirt road that wound through thick trees. At the end was a small wooden house overlooking a quiet lake. The moonlight reflected off the water, making it look like a second sky full of stars. It's not much, Lucy said as they got out of the truck, but no one will find us here. Zara looked at the peaceful scene. It is beautiful. Inside, the house was dusty but comfortable. Lucy turned on the power and checked that the water was running. There was canned food in the pantry that would last them for a while. As Lucy made up beds for them both, Zara stood by the window looking up at the stars. From here, I can see my home system, she said, pointing to a bright star. It is so far away, yet so close. Lucy joined her at the window. Do you miss it? Yes, but I could not stay. Not if it meant being used to start a war that would destroy millions. Lucy put her hand on Zara's shoulder. Where their skin touched, both of them glowed faintly. We'll figure this out, Lucy promised. Together. Outside in the darkness, neither of them noticed the small drone hovering above the trees, its camera fixed on the lake house. The next morning, Lucy woke to the sound of birds singing outside. For a moment, she forgot everything that had happened. Then she saw Zara standing by the window, her silvery blue skin catching the early sunlight, and it all came rushing back. Aliens. Secret wars. Her own possible alien ancestry. Did you sleep? Lucy asked as she got up. Zara turned from the window. My people need less rest than humans. I use the time to monitor for signals from space. Any luck? No, but that is good. It means neither the Royal Guard nor the Dravik have located us yet. Lucy made breakfast from the canned food in the pantry. Zara watched with interest as Lucy opened the cans and heated the contents on the old stove. Your methods of food preparation are interesting, Zara said. Lucy laughed. This isn't exactly fine dining. Just survival food. How do you eat on your world? We have synthesizers that create food from base elements, but we also grow living food in gardens that float in the air above our cities. As they ate, Lucy had so many questions about Zara's world, about the Lycerians, about the strange connection they seemed to share. But before she could ask, Zara pulled a small device from her clothing. It was shaped like a diamond and glowed with an inner light. This is a royal communicator, Zara explained. It can send messages across star systems using quantum entanglement. I need to contact my mother, the Empress. When is that safe? Lucy asked, worried. Won't it give away our location? It cannot be traced. The quantum link is secure. Zara placed the device on the table. It floated up and hovered in the air. Then it projected a hologram, a swirling galaxy of light. Mother Empress, Zara spoke to the hologram. I am safe on Earth. I have found one of the Earthborn. She has helped me. The hologram shifted and changed, forming the image of a woman who looked like an older version of Zara. Her skin had the same silvery blue tone, but her markings were more complex, covering most of her visible skin. She wore what looked like a crown made of light. Daughter, the Empress said, her voice similar to Zara's but deeper, with more layers to the echo. The Dravik claim you were kidnapped. They demand your return. You know that is not true, Zara replied. I discovered their plan to use our genetic code to control the flux. If I had gone through with the marriage, they would have gained the power to destroy worlds. The Empress's face showed no emotion, but her markings pulsed with colors that seemed to indicate concern. The situation has become complicated. The Dravik fleet has moved to the edge of the Earth system. They threaten to take you by force, Lucy gasped. There's an alien fleet near Earth? The Empress's hologram turned toward Lucy. Is this the Earthborn who helps you? Yes, Zara said. This is Lucy Montgomery. She saved me from the crash and has hidden me from both our agents and the Dravik. The Empress studied Lucy with eyes that seemed to see through her. She has the old bloodline. Faint but present. What does that mean? Lucy asked. Zara said I might be part Lycerian. How is that possible? Long ago, the Empress explained. Some of our explorers remained on Earth. They formed attachments with humans. Such unions were forbidden, but they happened nonetheless. The children of these unions carried Lycerian traits diluted through generations. So I'm descended from aliens? Lucy tried to wrap her mind around this revelation. From both humans and Lycerians, the Empress corrected. The bloodline is weak in you, but it exists. That is why Zara was drawn to you, why she chose to crash near your observatory. Lucy looked at Zara. You knew about me before you crashed? Zara nodded. Our systems detected a faint Lycerian genetic signature in your area. I took a chance that you would help me. Our royal family has always had a stronger connection to the Earthborn, the Empress added. It is as if your distant ancestors call to us across the stars. This was too much for Lucy to process. She had gone from being a lonely orphan to being part alien in less than a day. But before she could ask more questions, the hologram flickered. The Dravik are jamming our communication, the Empress said, her image breaking apart. Listen carefully. The Royal Guard will arrive in 3 Earth days. Stay hidden until then. And Lucy Montgomery. The hologram focused on her. Protect my daughter. The future of 2 civilizations depends on it. The hologram vanished and the diamond-shaped device fell to the table. 3 days, Lucy said. We need to stay hidden for 3 days. Zara picked up the communication device and put it away. The Dravik will be searching. They have technology that can scan large areas quickly. But they don't know we're at this lake house, right? Lucy asked. They do not know yet. But they will expand their search when they do not find us in the city. Lucy thought about their situation. The lake house was isolated but not completely hidden. If the Dravik had advanced technology, they might find it eventually. We need to be ready to move if they get close, Lucy said. I know these woods. There are caves in the hills behind the lake where we could hide if necessary. Zara nodded. A good plan. Your knowledge of this area is valuable. They spent the day preparing. Lucy gathered supplies they could take if they needed to flee into the woods. Zara's wound was healing quickly, the blue blood no longer seeping through the bandage. In the afternoon, Zara asked to see Lucy's laptop. Your computer is primitive, but it might be useful, Zara said. May I modify it? Lucy hesitated but then handed it over. What are you going to do to it? Improve it, so we can monitor for Dravek signals. Zara opened the laptop and then did something strange. She placed her hand on the keyboard, and her skin markings glowed brightly. The laptop screen filled with strange symbols that moved and changed rapidly. After a few minutes, Zara removed her hand. It is done. Your device can now detect and translate Dravek communication frequencies. Lucy stared at her laptop in amazement. How did you do that? Lycerian technology merges with our biology. We can transfer data through touch. Zara pointed to the screen, which now showed a map of the area around the lake house. This will warn us if Dravek ships or drones come near. As evening approached, they sat on the porch of the lake house, watching the sunset reflect on the water. Despite the danger they were in, Lucy felt a strange sense of peace. All my life, Lucy said quietly, I felt like I didn't belong, like I was waiting for something to happen. Now I know why. Zara looked at her. The Lycerian blood in you, even diluted through generations, still called to the stars. Is that why I became an astronomy student? Why I've always been drawn to the night sky? Perhaps. Our people have a strong connection to the cosmos. It is in our nature to look up and wonder. Lucy rolled up her sleeve and looked at her arm where the markings had appeared when Zara touched her. The skin was normal now. No sign of the glowing patterns. Will I ever be able to do that on my own? Make the markings appear? Zara considered this. The royal bloodline has always had the strongest connection to the flux. If you carry even a trace of that lineage, then perhaps with training, you could awaken more of your Lycerian heritage. Could I learn to do the things you do? Change technology with a touch? Heal quickly? I do not know. No Earthborn has ever been trained in our ways. Zara's expression became thoughtful. But you are different, Lucy Montgomery. You found me when I crashed. You helped me without question. You believed me when I told you impossible truths. There is something special about you. As the sun disappeared below the horizon, Lucy's laptop beeped from inside the house. They rushed in to check it. The screen showed a small object moving toward the lake. A drone, Zara said. Dravek design. Lucy's heart raced. Have they found us? It may be a routine search pattern, but we cannot take the risk. Zara pointed to the hills on the map. The caves you mentioned. We should go there now. They quickly gathered their emergency packs and left through the back door of the lake house. The forest was dark, but Zara's glowing skin provided enough light for them to see the path. Lucy led the way, remembering the hiking trips she had taken here as a child. The caves were about a mile from the house, hidden behind a waterfall that fed into the lake. As they approached, Lucy heard a humming sound above the trees. Looking up, she saw a small metallic object hovering in the air. It was shaped like a disc with lights around its edge. Down, Zara whispered, pulling Lucy behind a large rock. They watched as the drone moved slowly toward the lake house. It hovered over the building for a few minutes, bright beams of light scanning the structure. Then it moved on, continuing its search pattern away from them. That was close, Lucy whispered. Too close, Zara agreed. The caves will be safer. They continued on, reaching the waterfall as the moon rose above the trees. The cave entrance was hidden behind the flowing water. They slipped through, getting wet in the process, and found themselves in a cool, dark space. Zara's glowing skin illuminated the cave. It was larger than Lucy remembered, with tunnels leading deeper into the hill. We should stay near the entrance, Lucy said, in case we need to leave quickly. They set up a small camp using the supplies they had brought. As they sat in the dim light of Zara's bioluminescence, Lucy felt that familiar sense of peace again. It's strange, she said. I should be terrified. There are aliens hunting us. There's a space fleet near Earth. I just found out I might be part alien myself. But sitting here with you, it feels right. Like this is where I'm supposed to be. For 2 days, Lucy and Zara stayed in the cave. They ventured out only briefly to get fresh water from the waterfall. Lucy's laptop, with Zara's alien upgrades, showed them that Dravek drones were still searching the area. The lake house had been visited twice more, but the drones always moved on. finding no trace of them. On the morning of the third day, Lucy woke to find Zara standing at the cave entrance, looking out through the waterfall at the dawn sky. "Today," Zara said without turning around. "The royal guard will arrive today." Lucy joined her at the entrance. "How can you tell?" "I feel it. The royal family has a connection that transcends normal space. My mother is near." Lucy looked up at the sky but saw nothing unusual. "What happens when they get here?" "Will you go back to your people?" Zara turned to look at Lucy. Her three-pupiled eyes seemed sad. "I must. My actions have pushed our civilizations to the brink of war. I need to explain what I discovered about the Dravek plot." "And what about me?" Lucy asked. The question had been on her mind since they fled to the cave. In just 3 days, her entire understanding of herself had changed. The thought of going back to her old life, of pretending none of this had happened, seemed impossible. "That will be your choice," Zara said. She reached out and took Lucy's hand. Where their skin touched, Lucy's began to glow with faint markings. "But know that you will always have a place among the Lycerians. My mother's words were not just diplomatic courtesy. Our people honor those of the old bloodlines." Before Lucy could respond, her laptop beeped urgently from inside the cave. They rushed to check it. The screen showed multiple objects descending from the sky toward the lake. "Ships," Zara said, her markings pulsing with excitement. "But I cannot tell if they are Lycerian or Dravek." They packed quickly and moved deeper into the cave, away from the entrance. The tunnels twisted and turned, but Zara's glowing skin provided enough light to see by. Eventually, they reached a large chamber with a small underground stream running through it. "We should wait here," Lucy said. "If they're your people, they'll find us. If they are Dravek, we will need to find another way out," Zara finished. They sat in silence, listening for any sounds of pursuit. After what felt like hours, Lucy's laptop beeped again. The screen showed new ships arriving, much larger than the first ones. "More ships?" Lucy asked, worried. Zara studied the screen, her face lighting up. "Those are Lycerian royal vessels. My mother has come herself." Just then they heard a sound echoing through the cave tunnels, footsteps, and voices speaking in a language Lucy didn't recognize. Zara stood up, her markings glowing brighter. "Stay behind me," she told Lucy, "until we know who they are." The footsteps grew louder. Then figures appeared at the entrance to the chamber. They looked human at first glance, wearing what appeared to be tactical gear. But as they stepped into the light of Zara's bioluminescence, Lucy saw their true nature. Their skin shifted and changed, revealing the same silvery blue tone as Zara's. Their eyes had the same 3 pupils. One of the figures stepped forward and knelt before Zara. "Crown Princess." "The Empress sends her regards and protection." Zara relaxed visibly. "Commander Thale, it is good to see you." The commander stood and looked at Lucy with curiosity. "This is the Earthborn who helped you?" "This is Lucy Montgomery," Zara said, her voice filled with respect. "Without her, I would have been captured by the Dravek. She is to be treated with all the honor of a royal ally." Commander Thale bowed to Lucy, which made her feel awkward and special at the same time. "The Empress awaits you both at the lake," Thale said. "The area is secure. The Dravek ships have retreated to orbit." They followed the Lycerian guards back through the cave tunnels. As they emerged from behind the waterfall, Lucy gasped. The sky above the lake was filled with ships. They weren't the flying saucers of old movies or the star destroyers of science fiction. They were elegant, organic-looking vessels that seemed to grow from a central point, like flowers made of light and metal. Hovering above the center of the lake was the largest ship of all. It was shaped like a giant lotus flower, its petals slowly rotating around a glowing core. "The Imperial vessel," Zara said, seeing Lucy's amazement. "My mother's ship." They were escorted to the shore of the lake where a smaller craft waited to take them to the Imperial ship. It had no visible controls or engines, yet it moved smoothly across the water and then up into the air. Lucy held tightly to her seat as the ground fell away beneath them. The inside of the Imperial vessel was unlike anything Lucy had imagined. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with the same kind of markings that covered Zara's skin. The floors were solid but somehow gave slightly under her feet, as if adjusting to her weight. Everything glowed with an inner light. They were led to a large chamber at the center of the ship, and there, waiting for them, was the Empress. In person, she was even more impressive than her hologram had been. Taller than Zara, with markings that covered every visible inch of her skin, she radiated power and wisdom. Her eyes with their 3 pupils seemed to look through Lucy rather than at her. "Daughter," the Empress said, embracing Zara, "you have caused quite a diplomatic incident." "Mother," Zara replied, her voice respectful but firm, "I discovered the truth about the Dravik's intentions. They never wanted peace. They wanted our genetic code to control the flux." The Empress nodded. "We know. Your escape gave us time to investigate further. We have found evidence of their plot." She turned to Lucy. "And you, Earthborn, you have done our family a great service." Lucy wasn't sure how to address an alien Empress, so she just nodded. "I just did what seemed right." The Empress studied her with those penetrating eyes. "There is more of the royal bloodline in you than we first thought. One of your ancestors must have been very close to our family line." Before Lucy could ask what that meant, a guard entered the chamber. "Empress, the Dravik fleet is moving into attack formation. Their ambassador demands the return of the princess." The Empress's markings flashed with colors Lucy couldn't name. "They still think they can force our hand." She turned to a wall that suddenly became transparent, showing the space above Earth. Multiple ships, angular and dark compared to the Lycerian vessels, were moving into position. "They would risk war?" Zara asked, shocked. "Here at a protected world?" "They believe we will surrender rather than fight near Earth," the Empress said. "They do not understand our respect for developing worlds." Lucy looked at the Dravik ships. There were so many of them. "What will happen to Earth if they attack?" The Empress's face became grave. "If weapons of our level of technology are used in this system, there would be consequences for your world, changes in your atmosphere, disruptions to your technology, perhaps worse." "Then we have to stop them," Lucy said firmly. "There must be a way to end this without fighting." The Empress looked at Lucy with new interest. "You care for your world even knowing you are part of ours?" "Earth is my home," Lucy said simply, "no matter where my ancestors came from." The Empress was silent for a moment, her markings shifting through colors in what seemed like deep thought. Then she turned to Zara. "Daughter, you fled an arranged marriage that would have given the Dravik access to our royal genetic code. But what if there was another way to secure peace? A different alliance?" Zara looked confused. "What do you mean, Mother?" The Empress gestured to Lucy. "The Earthborn carries our royal bloodline, distant but present. She has shown courage, intelligence, and compassion, qualities we value in the royal family." Lucy suddenly understood what the Empress was suggesting. "Wait, are you saying—" "In our oldest laws," the Empress continued, "those who save royal blood become blood themselves. It is a tradition that has not been invoked in generations, but it remains valid." "Adoption," Zara said, her eyes widening. "You want to adopt Lucy into the royal family?" The Empress nodded. "It would solve several problems at once. The Dravik could not claim we violated the peace agreement if we offer a new royal alliance. Earth would gain official protection as the homeworld of a royal family member, and the Earthborn would have a chance to learn about her heritage." Lucy's head was spinning. "You want to make me a princess? An alien princess?" "You already carry the blood," the Empress said. "This would simply make it official. And it would give you the chance to develop the abilities that lie dormant within you." "What about my life on Earth? My studies?" "You would be free to return to Earth as often as you wish. As a royal family member, you would have access to technology that would make the journey simple. And your studies could continue with access to knowledge your universities can only dream of." Lucy looked at Zara, who seemed as surprised as she was. "Is this really possible?" Zara nodded slowly. "It is without precedent in recent times, but the old laws are clear. You saved my life. By tradition, that makes you family." A guard entered again, more urgently this time. "Empress, the Dravik ships have powered their weapons. They are demanding a response." The Empress turned to Lucy. "The choice is yours, but it must be made quickly." Lucy thought about her life on Earth, an orphan, always feeling out of place, looking at the stars and wondering if something was waiting for her out there. Then she thought about Zara, about the connection they had formed in just a few days.